Okay, here's the solutions to 2005 with added National 5. First question, seen a few of these now. Do the divide part first of all. So A into 7.36, A into 7 doesn't go, A into 73 goes 9, carry 1, A into 16 is 2. So we've got 3.8 minus 0.92, that comes out to be 2.88. Question 2, like last one, do the times part first of all. So 1/5 times 1 2/5, that's 1/5 times 7/5, which comes to be 7/25 because nothing cancels. Now we need to do 2 1/3, add 7/25, so that's 2, add the fractions, new bottom number 75, new top number is 25 and 21, which gives me 2 46/75. Question 3, 12.5%. Well, if you did the last one, you'll know that that's an eighth of 140, or half, half and half again. So half takes you to 70, half takes you to 35, and half again takes you to £17.50. You could work out as 10%, 5%, 2.5%, add it on. Whichever way you do it, you should end up with that answer. Question 4, find the gradient. Now we need 2 points, so we can pick those two, those, or those. Doesn't matter which one you pick. I'm going to pick that point there and that point there. And I'm going to rewrite them as 1, 4 and 2, 2, because that's the way we're more used to seeing them. So the gradient, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, negative 2 over 1, which is negative 2. We know from the table that it crosses at 0, 6, 0 along 6 up. So we know where it crosses, we know the gradient, so we can write down the formula as y equals negative 2x, and it crosses at positive 6. Question 5. Solve this, so take the 1 over first of all, so 2 over x is equal to 5. Now, if I make it 5 over 1, do some cross multiplying, then I'm going to get 5x is 2, take the 5 over, x is 2 over 5. Question 6, I think we've seen this one before. The radius is 5, so we can put them in. There's another 5, there's another 5, there's another 5. Okay. We know that this distance along the top here is 8, so halfway along is going to be 4. So if I take that triangle, that distance is 5, that distance is 4, and let's say I work out this distance here, y. Pythagoras would say that's 5 squared, take away 4 squared, 25, take away 16, which is 9, and the square root of 9 is 3. Why am I working out that distance? Well, if I know that distance there is 3, because I know this whole distance here is 7, then looking at the bottom triangle, that height must be 4. So if I extract the bottom triangle now, radius is still 5, that height is 4. I'm trying to calculate this distance here, which I'll call x, and again, simple Pythagoras will tell you that the answer to that is 3. So the whole distance right across the bottom, which is what the question is looking for, is 2 times 3, so the base is equal to 6 centimetres. Question 7, f of 72, so put 72 into the formula, so that gives us 4 root 72s plus root 2. Root 72 can become root 36 times root 2. Root 36 is 6, and 4 times 6 is 24, so that's 24 root 2s plus a root 2, 25 root 2s. Second part of the question, put the formula equal to the number. Right, this time it's f of t. So that's 4 So let me just do that in a different colour so it stands out a wee bit better. So that's 4 root t's plus root 2, right, that's taking the formula and putting it equal to 3 root 2's. Four root 2 t's equals, if I take the root 2 over, equals to 2 root 2's. Now, what do I do? The problem here is these square root signs. So how am I going to get rid of them? By squaring. So if I square each side. So 4 squared is 16, root t squared is t, 2 squared is 4, root 2 squared is 2, so I get 16t is equal to 8, so t is equal to 8 over 16, which is a half. Quite complicated that, so go back and listen to it again. Question 8. We know from the question that the area is equal to 7. So, formula for the area of a triangle is half base times height. So the half base times height must be 7. The base is 2x, half of 2x is x. The height is 2x minus 5, which equals 7. Now how are we going to go about solving that? If I remove the brackets, I get 2x squared minus 5x, bring the 7 over. Factorise that into a pair of brackets. 2 times positive 1 is 2, and then take off 7 gets us back to negative 5. So that gives us, from the first bracket, x is 7 over 2, and from the second bracket, x is negative 1. This is impossible, can't have a negative length. So your answer is x is 7 over 2. Question 9, find the magnitude of 3a add b. Well, that's the magnitude of 3a's are negative 9, 6, plus a b, which is 1, negative 2, which is the magnitude of the vector minus 8, 4. How do we do that? Pythagoras, negative 8 squared, add 4 squared, 64 add 16, which is the square root of 80. How do we simplify that? Root 16 times root 5, which is 4 root 5's. Question 10. First of all, we need to find the mean, so we're going to have to add all these numbers up and then divide by 6. That gives us 79.5. Then we need to set our table up as x, x bar, x minus x bar, x minus x bar, all squared. Okay, let me just do that quickly for you. Now if you add all these up, you get 251.5. So the standard deviation is that number, 251.5, divided by 1 less, which is 5. Do the division on your calculator. Square root of 50.3 is left, which gives us 7.1. Isn't the second part to this question, so we're done. Question 11, e equals mc squared, so that's just a case of doing 3.6 times 10 to the power negative 2 times 3 times 10 to the power 8, and then square that. Okay, and if you do all of that in your calculator properly, you should get an answer coming out of 3.24 times 10 to the power 15. Question 12, area of this triangle. It's fairly simple and straightforward. Half of 21 times 19 times sine 110. Type all that in and I think you'll find it comes out to be 187.5 centimetres squared. Question 13, solve this. X squared plus 2x, bring the 9 over, is equal to 0. A must be 1, B must be 2, C must be negative 9. Put them in your formula, negative 2 plus or minus square root of 2 squared, take away 4 times 1 times negative 9 over 2 times 1, which is negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 40 over 2, which gives us 2.16227766 and negative 4.16227766. So to the degree of accuracy that the question asks, 2.2 and negative 4.2. Question 14. David walks 5 kilometres on 50 degrees. Hostel B is due east. So because this angle in here is 90 degrees, then you can work that angle out there as 40. Susie walks on 294 from B. So let's draw another north line. She walks 294, so she walks right round there, 294. Now we know that this line here is an east-west line, so that's 270. So that means that the angle in here must be 24. If it's 294 right round, then that's 24. We know these two angles in the picture, so this one here must be 116. Question's asking you, what is this distance here between the hostels X? Angles and sides means it's a sine rule question, so X over sine 116 is equal to 5 over sine 24. Okay, X 116, 5, 24. Take the sine 116 over, X will be 5 over sine 24 times sine 116. And on your calculator, that comes out to be 11.0 kilometres. Question 15, the pendulum. Now, we're asked to find angle X, so I'm going to make a right angle here to find angle X. So if I take that from the diagram, this is 12.5. We don't seem to know anything else. Now we know that the radius is 12.5. We also know the ball is up 2.5 and 1.5 off the ground. So using that fact, then this size in here between these 2 points must be 1. So if that size is 1, then it means the height of the triangle is 11.5. 12.5 to the ball, take off the 1, 11.5. We're trying to work out angle X, so it's a SOHCAHTOA question. Cos X is 11.5 over 12.5. If you do second cos on that, you get 23 degrees. Question says, find the length of the arc. Okay, so we need to go all the way along here now. So we need to do it for double the angle. So the arc is 46 divided by 360 times pi times in the diameter will be your 12.5 doubled. Do all that and you get an answer of 10 metres. Last question, solve the trig equation. Take the negative 1 over, so root 3 sine x is 1. So sine x is 1 over root 3. Do your all sine tan cos. We're looking where it's positive. It's a sine question, so it's these two places here. Calculator will give you one answer as 35. The other answer is 180 minus that, which is 145 degrees. Part B says what happens when you have root 3 sine 2x equals 1. Well, we've now just doubled the angle, so at this line here, where you had x equals, if you do it with 2x, you're going to have 2x equals 35 and 145 degrees. So x is going to be half of those, 17.5 and 72.5 degrees. Okay, I know that was quick, guys, but you can go back and watch things over and over again until you hopefully pick them up.